Hey guys, Dustin here, and Horroritis is back. I want to wish everybody a happy 2017, and I'd also like to welcome our new robot overlords. May their wrath be swift and just. So in this episode we're talking about 1997's Cube, and this movie, I saw it for the first time like 12 years ago with my wife before we were married, and I thought the premise for this movie was like amazing, and it's been one of my favorite movies ever since. So let's jump into it. Here's why you should watch Cube. The movie opens with a man who wakes up in a small cube-shaped room. In each one of the walls, the floor, and the ceiling, there's a small door right in the center. He goes around opening the doors and checking the rooms on the other side, only to find that each one is exactly the same, only lit in a different color. He finally decides on a room, climbs through the little porthole, and as soon as he hits the ground, he is instantly sliced into bloody, meaty cubes. Keep in mind that this was 5 years before they pulled off the same effect in the Resident Evil movie, and this one is vastly better. In another room, 5 people meet each other. There's Quentin, Levin, Ren, Worth, and Holloway. None of them know where they are, or how they got there, or who anybody else is. What they do know, thanks to Quentin, is that some of the rooms are booby-trapped because he almost got his hand taken off. Ren, it turns out, is pretty good at getting past the booby traps. Having broken out of 7 prisons before finding himself in the cube, he's got some experience under his belt. That is until he gets his face melted off.
Get him out!
Levin decides she's gonna step up and try to solve the cube using the numbers that are stamped in the little hallways between the rooms. For a while it works, and they move forward until they find a room where it seems that every other room beyond it is booby-trapped. Quentin climbs the wall to open the door in the ceiling, and another person falls through, and we are introduced to Kazan, who seems to be mentally handicapped.
This room is green.
Yes, it is.
I want to go back to the blue room.
With Kazan in the group, they push forward to try to find a way out. So that brings us up to about 20-25 minutes into the movie, and here's where the spoilers are. One of the things I like about this movie is that we get to see the slow decline of Quentin's mental state throughout the movie. As a cop in the beginning, his first instinct is to assess the situation and get everybody to safety. But as they move on and they don't have water or food and they're all very tired, he begins to slowly descend into madness and becomes more paranoid and angry and starts lashing out at people. And by the time we hit the climax, he's murdered like 3 out of 5 of the people in his group. What I like most about this movie is that it's another movie that shows you don't need a big Hollywood budget to make a visually pleasing film. This movie has an estimated budget of something like $365,000 Canadian, and the whole thing was shot in like 20 days, and the set was only one 14 by 14 cube, and the only thing that ever changed was the gel panels to change the colors of the room. They would shoot like all the red room scenes, then all the blue room scenes, and the white room scenes, and so on, and the whole thing just kind of came together in like 20 days. Now, nearly 20 years later, this movie still looks as good as it did in the beginning, and it seems to be relatively undated. In fact, there's only 2 times I can think of where I was actually thrown off. There's one in the cubing scene, and then the spike scene. And both of those were CGI, and honestly, it's like 20-year-old CGI effects, so we can really look past that. Everything else still looks really, really good. So that is why you should watch Cube. If you haven't seen it, go watch it now. If you have seen it, watch it again, because it's a damn fine movie. If you liked this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down button. Leave a comment below if you have questions, comments, or suggestions. I will read like everything you type down there. If you want to get a hold of me a different way, check the description below. You'll find Facebook, Twitter, and some donation links if you're interested. Other than that, that's all I have to say about this movie. So until next time, I'm Dustin, this was Horroritis, and as always,
suck on it. Keeps the saliva flowing.